All right, everyone. So this is a disclaimer before I start this video. This is not going to be a pretty video. This is not going to be a video that most people will probably even listen to. This is going to sound really bad, but yet again, it's just the brutal, honest truth of reality and how things really are. And I know until we face, I think that we have to face and we have to literally see how horrible reality and life and existence really is and can be before we can be absolutely genuine and real with ourselves here. And that still isn't going to absolutely solve the problems of life. It's not going to really solve anything. And when you're a person that you are, instead of, you were once living life and now you're coping with life, there is a different dichotomy going on. Because I'll admit it, I don't see myself as living life anymore. I am coping with living life. And I'm not saying that I don't. There are only a few things that I think are beautiful that I really resonate with in this life. And those things to me are sacred things because those things do not hurt anything else. They do not cause harm to anybody else. These things are harmonic. These things are artistical. It has nothing to do with causing suffering for another thing. Nothing to do with that. My sexual energy does not cause harm to anybody, and it doesn't cause harm to myself. I think you can overdo things. Yes, any of us can. But here is my point. The games and the show is over with me. It's over. It's over. And see, the thing is, a lot of people in this world, they are going to continue to play the game. They're going to continue to put on the show. They're going to continue to wear the mask for the world. They're going to continue to lie, 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 lie. Most of everything that we do is based upon lies here. And the things that we have been programmed with, that is not really our true essence here. It's not really who we are. But even though I already know that the things that you've been programmed by, the things in your upbringing, your religion, what you think is God, the things that you really enjoyed once, you can't get that out of your mind. It is impossible to get the programming out of one's mind, but that was never really you because these things were forced upon you. These things were told that you had to be at one time. And see, when you get this deep into a subject and into a topic, the first thing that is going to come up all the time is denial. Is denial and lying. Us being in denial and us lying to ourselves. And I am at this, not even a point in my life, it's just a knowing thing that like you just come to the conclusion that you are not that thing anymore, and the thing that you used to do, the things that you used to say, the person that you used to be, you're just not that anymore, because you've actually took a brutal honest look at this life, and you really really examined it for what it was. And let me tell you something, it will absolutely crush you. You will be broken. You will literally feel like, I can't even explain to you the feeling that it's like the world is on your shoulders, literally. It feels like the entire world is on my shoulders as a person. And even though I don't want to care, I still care, because if I don't care, then that means that I'm going to be just like any other parasite on this earth. And I'm just going to cause more suffering than what has to be. And listen, I know this may turn a lot of people this may turn a lot of people off out there, but it is just the truth. When Agent Smith in the Matrix said that we are parasites, you go from one place to the next, consuming every living thing, every substance, everything that is there. That's what we are. We are no better than parasites. We are no better than a mosquito. We are no better than a fly. We are no better than the creatures that we call pests. We are them and they are us. But yet we kill them saying that they're pests. Oh, that rat in your home. This is how twisted, this is how crazy it all really is. Like when you see a mouse in your home, yes, that mouse can carry diseases and it can be filthy. It can get into trash and stuff. But we do all the same things. It's just they don't have the ability to do what we do. They don't have the ability to do the things that we do in order to eat the way we eat and clean the way we clean. They don't have the ability to do that. Yes, they can carry diseases and they can do all these things, but are they not looking for food like we have to look for food? Do they not need water like we need water? Do they not need shelter like we need shelter to survive? And that's what, you know, that's what this is. That we are in a survival situation. We are here to survive. And that is what everything is based upon, is survival. 95% of what we do is based upon survival. So why lie to ourselves and act like that's not what we're doing here when that's what we're doing here? Now, I know this all sounds horrible, and facing these things and really seeing them for what they are, this is why I get depressed, is because life has depressed me, from me being honest with myself and me really taking a look at this reality and this world and what is really truly going on here. Now, besides that, yes, I am very interested in like mystical things. I like watching stuff about mysticism, and I love music. I love, now when I say I love sex, it is the art of sex that I love. It isn't just the fact of having sex to procreate or what people might think it is. I think yes, there is something that is very beautiful in sex. There is something that I do believe is very sacred to the people that are doing it to each other. But at the same time, when you really think about it, there's a part of it that is nasty. It's kind of disgusting. It's a piece of meat going into an open wound. It is what I call the morbid divinity. I believe that we are morbid divinity. We have this part of us that is so primordial and it's very instinctive, and we are capable of doing the worst things, the most horrible things. Like when I think about what was done to Jews and gypsies and Lithuanians and just all people. I don't even have to say Jews or gypsies. It's people. It's human beings that did things to other human beings in the name of this thing that we call life and the ego and ideals and these grandiose things that we have. And listen, I also have grandiose things, but my grandiosity deals with artistical things. My grandiosity deals with craft and sexual energy and posing and doing something that is good and healthy, but at the same time, it's not at the expense of making something else suffer so that I can have that thing. And I think if we do not, this is why we keep doing a lot of what we do, because we don't get to the root here. We never get to the root of the root, the root of the root of the root of the root. And the only thing that I really have that is keeping me here is those few sacred things that are sacred to me. And if I'm being honest, even though love hurts and love, how can I say this? See, this is a very touchy thing. Yes, I need love. I admit it. I need love. I need to be loved, and I need people to want to need me. I need people to tell me, Nate, I'm with you and I care for you and I love you. And I realize that you go through things that you have no control over. And this is me talking to all of you out there. This is me reflecting on myself, but this is me saying this to you too. We are almost in an impossible, well, we are in an impossible situation that there are things that we literally cannot have any control over, and we are powerless over, and we always will be. But the things that we are, that we can talk about, or that we can reflect on, that we can get honest with, most of the time we neglect these things and we keep neglecting them and we keep lying about it and we keep trying to motivate each other into this place like you just got to motivate yourself to get there. And to me, that's just people lying to me. I don't want to be motivated. I don't care about motivation. Motivation to me is a lie. Motivation to me is a trick. You're cheering me on to get motivated to go to some place that, or to do something that if I'm not doing that thing continually, then I got to feel guilty because I'm not living up to that thing that I'm supposed to be motivated for. And it's a continual trying procession. It's a continual, you have to be more, more, more. You have to keep trying and trying, and you got to keep doing something and doing something. And this is my problem with motivation. This is my problem with the word even hope, because those things are not really present. They're not really being there with an individual. They're not really being there with yourself. See, when we're talking about things, and if this is scrambling up your mind, I understand, because I know this may seem very foreign. I know this might seem uncomfortable. I know a lot of people might not want to hear this, but hear me out. Listen to what I'm telling you. When you are in a room with a couple people, say that it's you and there's a couple other people and you're in a room. Most people in that room, they will literally start conversating about things and gossiping about things, and they'll start talking about things that are almost irrelevant. It's like small talk that starts going on. And I try to stay away from those situations as much as possible because they don't mean anything to me. Like, there is nobody that provides a place where people can be with one another, but it's not about us. It's not about our egos. It's not about me having to prove something to anybody that I'm around anymore. It's not about gossiping about each other. It's about focusing on literally the place that you're at, and that is the sanctuary. That is a temple-minded person, that you're focused on what you're doing, but there's others around you that are focused on the same thing, and you know that you're there with other people. This is very hard to explain to people. This is very, very hard to explain to an Americanized mind, or a programmed mind, or somebody that you're still basing your reality, your life, your lifestyle. You're basing everything on your ego still. And this is why you continue to try. You continue to put on this thing that you're really not every day, and you can't let it die. I'm not saying to move on from it. I don't like the word moving on from, because we never really move on from anything, do we? We never move on from anything. There's things that I would like to move on from that I just can't, because they're so ingrained in my mind. They're so ingrained in my own temple, so to speak. They're so ingrained in my sanctuary that they're in some kind of cabinet. There's cabinets in my mind, and there's times where I can put it away more than other times. I can kind of blow it off and ignore it, but the reason that I'm doing this is because I am not ignoring these things in my cabinet anymore, because they're going to come back eventually. They're going to come and say, "Hey, Nate, I'm back again." And what I'm doing is I am taking a look at them, and I am exposing them, and I am really saying how I really feel about them and the things that really go on, because I'm not going to hide anymore. Because even though we hide, I wrote it here on my notebook. True intimacy and sensitivity always hides itself from the world. It does not show the world because the world will either hate it or not understand it. So even though we hide this sensitivity, we hide what is truly intimate within ourselves, there comes a time where we have to see. This is what I mean. It's so hard to explain this. And I really don't know what I'm doing. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but I'm taking the action to do it through what I know is the thing that I should be doing. This is just my gut instinct. I know that I should be doing this. We hide what is intimate and we hide those things from the world. And what we do is we hide the things that we truly are, that we truly desire, that we truly know that we need. Yet when we go out in the world, we put up this front and this facade and we act like something other than that thing. And it's a lie. It's a lie. It's always been a lie. Now, when I say this, I'm not talking about traditional things like if somebody makes like a, I don't know, potato salad or something. I'm not talking about traditional stuff. I'm talking about the things that ever since we came into the world were forced on us. We were told that we had to do. We were basically judged the day that we came out of the womb. We were not really in touch with our essence because those before us were programmed and those before us were living the lie, putting on for everybody. We never actually came to the epitome of the essence and the temple and the sanctuary and being present with one another in the absoluteness of things. And in saying all of that, I know that this sounds so strange. Even though that is all that I know now, there is a part of humanity and this world and life that I do hate and I despise. And I can't act like I don't because I do. And the things that I hate and the things that I despise, it's because there is suffering going on there. There is something that is outside of my control that other people will continue to do that I can't do anything about. And until they come to that realization for themselves, then the lies are going to continue. The suffering is going to continue. The facade is going to continue. The whole show, the whole game that everybody's playing is going to continue. And we're going to remain ignorant and we're going to keep doing all these things that we do. And listen, I'm sorry to say, in a lot of ways, I am a misanthrope. There is a lot of things that I hate about humanity. And we are parasites. We are parasites. I hate to say it. I don't like saying these things. I don't like that I have to talk about this and say these things. But yet again, this is the paradox of this existence, is that there are a few things that I hold sacred in my own temple. There are a few things that I resonate with in my life, and it's only a few things. That's why they are so sacred to me. And it's almost like I don't want to give that to this world to trample on. It's like the verse, if you throw your pearls to swine, if you throw your pearls to the world, all the world's going to do is trample on it because it doesn't understand it. It doesn't get it because it's still in the lie. It's still under the denial of how this really is and what really goes on here. And until we get to that together, we are never going to be able to be present in the absolute together. We're never going to be able to get to that point. And listen, if I had just one other person that could just fucking sit with me and we could just be in the shit together, we could just face it together, we could just stop lying to ourselves together, we could just come to the altar of the absoluteness of this place and stop fucking playing games. Stop putting on the show for people. Like, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. When everybody says, "Oh, life is a joke," don't take things too serious. I think that's absolute bullshit. I think we need to start taking things seriously here. Now, is there a time to play? Is there a time to create? Is there a time for art? Is there a time for fun and sex and things like that? Yes. But the whole thing that I'm getting to is we're taking this like it's some kind of joke, and it's not a fucking joke. If you think that suffering is a joke, well, then let's do this. Put yourself in the shoes of something that is suffering. See, we all think suffering's a joke until the suffering comes to us. And then we're like, please help me. Where's everybody at? Why has this happened to me? And whether we want to admit it or not, it's going to happen to all of us sooner or later. See, this is the part that people do not want to face now, right now. So that when it happens later, everybody's surprised. Everybody's like, how did this happen? Why did this happen? I'm sorry to say, we are in an impossible situation. And admitting powerlessness, admitting that there are some things we have no control over, I know how bad it is. It will crush you. You will be broken, absolutely tore apart. And that is horrible. That is freaking horrible. It's a horrible thing. And if sacrifice means anything, please don't take this religiously. Don't take this like I'm talking about bloody sacrifice, because Christ was already the example of that. Learn from him, and we don't need to do that again. Christ has already done that. He was the ultimate sacrifice already, whether you believe that or not. But what sacrifice means is, I am here with you, so let us suffer together, let us live together, let us create together, let us be in the shit together, let us face this dead on together. But at the same time, when we talk about these things, most people, when you get this deep into something, right away their ego is telling them, "Oh, I gotta get up and run away. I can't do this. I have to go off somewhere and do something, or I have to go distract myself with something else. I just can't be here with you in that. I'm sorry. I can't be here with you. And see, whether we want to admit it or not, we are all here together in this. You can't go anywhere. I can't go anywhere. There's nowhere to go but right here. There's nowhere to go. And this is why, if we do not have compassion when compassion is needed while we are here, and we do not come to, I know I keep saying this and it's going to sound old the more I say it, but I have to say it to everyone to make us all understand this. This is why the temple and the sanctuary and what is sacred, the absoluteness in what I am saying, is so important for us to come there and be there and stay there, even when we're coming and we're going, coming and going, coming and going. There's something that one of these, I don't know who it was, they're called a guru, but I don't see them as a guru. I see them as they have transcended from lying to themselves. See, have you transcended from the lies? Have you transcended from ignoring what is really going on? Have you transcended from ignoring the suffering that is in this world? You either transcended that and you're facing that and you're being honest about that, or you're just ignoring that and you don't care anything about that. And see, that is where the problem lies. That is where the problem is, and it's always going to be until we get to that. So this is why the most important thing that the world is missing within ourselves is literally we have to come to terms with ourselves. And when we do that and we come into the present of the absoluteness of this world, this reality, this life, our spirit, the suffering in the world, and we come here and we're present there, and you don't have some fool that says, oh, well, yeah, I know what you're saying, but see, they missed the whole point. Then they think that I'm some creepy dude that's trying to keep you imprisoned. I'm going to be seen as some kind of cult leader or guru guy that's trying to keep you. I'm keeping you with me. It's not like that. If you're not with me, then you're not with yourself. And right here is where it is. It's right here. But see, we are so bombarded by distractions. We're so bombarded by lies. We're so bombarded with the things we've been programmed to think we have to be, think we have to say, think we have to act like. Listen, yes, we need discipline and we need to be responsible and we need to have an accountability for ourselves. But if we do not understand what is being said right here, right now, then you are literally a part of the overall problems that happen here. And most people, I don't want them to. Let us not remain in denial. Even though we are put in an impossible situation, even though overall life is very pessimistic. Life is something that literally breaks you down. It rips you apart. It breaks you. In order to get to this, you have to submit to this. And people do not understand what surrender actually means. We all look at surrender like we are weak, we're pathetic, we lost. I say there is a time that you do have to give up. You have to give up on all the stuff that I just talked about. You cannot transcend until you lose, until you know that you are in an impossible situation, until you know that you are absolutely powerless over this reality. That is when you will transcend. It's very hard to describe. It's, even though we want to build something and we want to create something beautiful and we want beautiful things, we all fall down. We are all toy soldiers. And that sucks. I know how much it sucks. But going and chasing again, that does not do us any good. We're missing the whole point of coming to the point of the point itself, which is we are the circle itself. We are the circle. And we have to take accountability for the circle. We have got to stop lying about the circle. We got to stop playing the game, acting like we're not the circle, because we are the circle. So I got about 30 seconds here. I'll talk about this in other videos. I'll continue to speak about this. But listen, I'm not doing this. I'm doing this to show you the brutal truth. That's it. And may you be as well as you possibly can. And peace unto all of you. Please help my channel. Please help support me. Thank you.